Here we are. When we finally left New Jersey, where we finally met, and he finally married in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and then we moved to Great Falls, Virginia, where we lived for many, many years. And there we are, sitting in front of the fireplace, in front of our beautiful house, Great Falls, Virginia, where we moved into about 40 years ago. And we're sitting there in front of the fireplace and enjoying nice warm fire, making new friends in Northern Virginia. We love Northern Virginia and Great Falls, and I still live there by myself, even though I don't have my sweetheart with me anymore. And like I say, she's gone now for 5 years. The terrible date when it all happened was April the 26th, 2015. And finally, here's where she is now. She's at St. Vladimir's beautiful Greek Ukrainian Catholic Church, which is run by my wonderful dear friend, the pastor, Father Myronyak. And even though I'm not there, he takes good care of her cemetery. And we bring flowers there. I go there about 3 or 4 times every year, and I stay with Father Myron at his home. And he takes care of the cemetery when I'm not there. He brings her flowers and so forth. And you can see that there's a picture in a heart-shaped frame right on our tombstone. And right above, right alongside of my hand there, you can see the word someday. Remember what I said at the beginning when I said when we first met in July the 4th weekend in 1950, 70 years ago, that's when I sat Dee Dee down and I said, honey, someday I'm going to marry a girl just like you. And I decided to have that name someday, or someday printed and engraved on our tombstone. That's where it is. And there's, see in my hand there, a little red tomato. That was my sweetheart Dee Dee's favorite veggie, big, bright red tomatoes. So that's a little bit of story about where she is right now, and I go to see her a couple of times every year. I'll be going up there for Easter a couple of months from now. And let's move on to the next picture. I think that's the last picture of this one, but I have, as I said at the very beginning of doing this program, show number 800, when I introduced the show and introduced my sweetheart's picture, I said this show is going to be about my sweetie pie. It's going to be a memorandum of her and our life together, and it's also going to include a mystery guest. And I think I mentioned it somewhere on later on toward the latter part of the show that I was going to introduce who that mystery guest was. It's a very famous actress and singer from Hollywood who was the most famous female singer for 35 or 40 years. She retired about 15 or 20 years ago, and she passed away, as a matter of fact, about a year ago. She was 97 when she died, and a wonderful, beautiful life. And she came into my life late in my life, and she came into my life when Dee Dee and I first went to that Cumberford movie theater in September of 1950, 70 years ago, and we saw her picture. And the picture was, again, T for Two, and we heard that very beautiful song for the very first time, and we heard Doris Day, that's her name, Doris Day, sing that beautiful picture. And Dee Dee said many times, Johnny, we should write a beautiful letter and tell Doris Day about our beautiful love story, how we met and how we saw her movie for the first time at the Cumberford Theater. The movie was T for Two. But we never had a chance to write that letter together because Dee Dee passed away 5 years ago. So after she was gone for a couple of months, I decided to sit down and write that letter on behalf of both of us. So I did. I wrote a beautiful letter and included a couple of beautiful pictures of Dee Dee and I. But I had to find Doris Day's address. I didn't know where she was, but somebody said that she lived in California. So I finally decided to find out where she lived, and I could send her this beautiful letter that I created. I found out she lived in Carmel by the Sea in Southern California. And I found her address, and I sat down and wrote this beautiful letter on behalf of my sweetheart, Dee Dee. Right, honey? Remember when you weren't there, you were up in heaven by this time. Sat down and included a couple of beautiful pictures of Dee Dee and I mailed this package out to Doris Day, care of Carmel by the Sea in Southern California. And then nothing happened for a week. Nothing happened for a second week. I didn't get a reply back for even a third week, and when it was getting close to a month, and I was just about ready to give up hope because I figured she was a very busy, famous actress, a famous singer, and she knows a lot of people, and she's loved by everybody, and she won't have time to write back to me. She won't acknowledge my letter, and she'll never send me that autographed picture that I requested on behalf of myself and Dee Dee. And all of a sudden one day, almost a month later after I sent that letter out, the mailman came to my house, and he walked up to my front door, and he handed me a great big brown envelope. And I looked at the return address on that envelope, and ladies and gentlemen, the return address on it was Carmel by the Sea, California, zip code, and I couldn't wait. I said, oh my God, must be a return letter, an answer to my letter and my pictures that I sent out about a month ago. And Doris Day is responding. I couldn't wait to rip that package open to see what the contents were inside. And when I opened up the package inside, this is what I saw. This was the beautiful package that Doris Day sent to me with her autographed photograph when she was at the height of her singing and acting career, and a beautiful letter attached to it right alongside. And you can't see what the letter says from there. The print is a little bit small, but I have on the back of this painting, this letter, I have the letter written right here in front. I'm going to read it to you, folks. Starts out by saying, Dear John, thank you for your sweet letter, sharing your lovely love story of you and your Dee Dee. I'm so happy that my movie, T for Two, played a small role in your lives, and sending me your lovely photographs of your beautiful Dee Dee, which I'm returning to you because I'm sure you would want to keep them and remember her. I'm so glad that you're someday, as that word, it goes back to the first night we met way back in 1950, which is engraved on the tombstone, that your someday came true, and you decided to write to me and share your beautiful love story with me. All my love, a big letter D, which is her neat abbreviation for Doris Day, with a whole bunch of kisses down below it. And that's the beautiful letter I got and the beautiful photograph I got. They were so impressed, and I couldn't believe it. And believe me, around the perimeter of this frame, you can't see it probably very clearly, but these are all little hearts. A whole bunch of hearts surrounding this beautiful picture from Doris Day to indicate that we're now getting close to Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen. That's right around the corners. Later on this week, we will be celebrating Valentine's Day. And I just want to take this opportunity to wish all of you folks out there who are watching our wonderful program, show number 800, which started way back in 1989 when we did show number 1. And it's been a long, long time, a lot of shows, a lot of wonderful guests on our program. But I just decided that when we reach number 800, this is a very special occasion, a very special number, that I wanted to take this opportunity and do something very special for my sweetheart. And I thought nothing could be better than to remember her and honor her legacy and her memory by producing this show without a guest sitting alongside me. I'm my own guest for this program, my own host doing the interviewing of myself and showing the beautiful pictures that you just saw, and the beautiful, beautiful remembrance that we got from Doris Day, which I just got, I guess about 3 or 4 years ago. I wrote the letter just a couple of months after she passed, my Dee Dee, in April the 26th of 2015. So she's now gone almost 5 years, a couple of months from now. And I miss you, honey. I miss you, sweetheart. I love you. I can't wait to see you someday. And there's that magic word again, someday. It's a very important word, just like the song T for Two is one of our favorite songs, if not our most favorite song. And the movie T for Two, which Doris Day made at that 70 years ago is when that picture first came out. And all the wonderful memories that it brings. Favorite movie, favorite picture, favorite word, someday. And it's engraved on our tombstone. And the beautiful heart-shaped picture is there also. And it's the only photograph, the only picture of any of the tombstones in that whole cemetery on Kane Street in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Father Myra, my dear friend, and his wonderful family, welcomes me to his home every time I go up there. And I'll be going up there a couple of more times this year, going up for this coming Easter, a couple of months from now. And we just wanted to relay this program to you, ladies and gentlemen, viewers watching our show. Hope you love it as much as we loved it, and I hope you appreciate seeing this beautiful love story, a love story that I'm happy to recount to you. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope and wish nothing but the best for you and your sweetheart. Those of you watching our program, viewing this wonderful show, show number 800, we hope that it'll bring fond memories of you and your a wonderful other person, your wife, your sweetheart, your honey, whatever you call him or her, and enjoy this wonderful happy Valentine's Day that's coming up just around the corner. Thank you so much for watching our program. We'll be doing our next show, which will be show number 801, since we're doing 800 tonight. And we have wonderful programs that we've been doing on Channel 10 here, cable TV, for a long, long time. Over 30 years is what we're celebrating now. And we look forward to doing a whole bunch more shows and celebrating wonderful occasions like we are tonight. On this memorable occasion, when I'm dedicating this particular program, this particular show, on behalf of my sweetheart, Dolores, Dee Dee, Monsul, and I'm going to include Doris Day for this dedication also, because she was so sweet and so loving to send us this beautiful letter, which I just read to you, and this gorgeous autographed picture of herself with the beautiful words, "All my love, kiss, 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 kiss," to Dee Dee and Johnny is the way she addressed it, and with all her best wishes and all her best love. And I couldn't ask for any more than that. Doris Day passed away almost about a year ago in May of 2019, the age of 96. And when she retired from entertaining, she had an animal welfare business that she got into, where she loved to take care of the animals. And she did that for the last 25 or 30 years since she retired from entertaining people. And she still did that up till her death about a year ago. The Doris Day animal welfare business out of Los Angeles and Carmel by the Sea. We hope you enjoyed the show. Getting close for me to start thinking about signing off. Come back and see us again, folks, for show number 801. We'll have another wonderful program for you on communicating today. God bless, and I will say farewell and bye-bye until I see you again, honey, sometime soon. Someday I will see you, and our dear friend Doris Day. Love you, honey. Miss you. God bless everybody. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, and we'll see you all the next show. Bye-bye. God bless.